On a bright, sunlit afternoon in a peaceful suburban neighborhood, life moved at a gentle, predictable pace. The streets were lined with tidy lawns, flowering gardens, and well-kept sidewalks, where neighbors exchanged friendly waves and children played without a care. At the heart of this community lived Bruno, a devoted and gentle dog known for his unwavering loyalty and kind nature. Every day, Bruno roamed his territory with a calm assurance, greeting everyone he encountered with a cheerful bark and a wagging tail that radiated warmth and trust. Bruno's daily routine was a blend of leisurely walks and moments of quiet contemplation. He would often pause beneath the shade of a large oak tree to bask in the soft sunlight or to observe the world around him with his keen, attentive eyes. His senses were finely tuned to the rhythms of the neighborhood, the rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze, the distant sound of laughter from nearby yards, and the subtle changes that marked the passage of time. In this harmonious setting, Bruno was more than just a pet. He was a steadfast guardian of his little corner of the world. Not far from Bruno's favorite walking route, atop the sloping roof of a charming, weathered cottage, lived Whiskers, a spirited cat with a taste for adventure. Whiskers loved the freedom that came with his lofty perch, where he could survey the bustling streets below and keep a watchful eye on his surroundings. The roof offered him a unique sanctuary, a place where he could enjoy the gentle caress of the sun and the cool kiss of the breeze. For Whiskers, the roof was both a haven and a stage for his escapades, a high vantage point from which the world seemed filled with endless possibilities. On this seemingly ordinary day, as Bruno carried out his familiar rounds and Whiskers lounged contentedly on his rooftop kingdom, destiny was quietly at work. The ordinary rhythms of the neighborhood hinted at an unforeseen twist, a gentle disruption that would soon intertwine the lives of these two unlikely friends. In the soft glow of that tranquil afternoon, with nature and community in perfect balance, the stage was being set for a remarkable journey where loyalty, courage, and compassion would soon shine through in the most unexpected way. As the afternoon matured into the soft light of late day, Bruno continued his leisurely patrol through the neighborhood. His ears, always alert, soon caught a series of anxious, high-pitched sounds that did not belong to the usual chorus of chirping birds or distant laughter. With a growing sense of concern, Bruno followed the faint meows, his nose twitching as he traced the sound upward. Looking up, his warm, trusting eyes landed on an alarming sight. On the sloping roof of the weathered cottage that overlooked his usual path, Whiskers was stranded. The cat, usually so graceful and confident on his elevated perch, now appeared small and vulnerable against the vast sky. A sudden gust of wind had apparently disturbed his balance, leaving him precariously clinging to the edge of the roof. The feline's soft meows, tinged with desperation, reached Bruno clearly, igniting within him a surge of protective instinct. The faithful dog's heart pounded as he realized the gravity of the situation. Without hesitation, Bruno trotted closer to the house, positioning himself at the base where he could get a clear view of Whiskers' plight. From his vantage point on the ground, he watched as the cat's eyes darted nervously, and his lithe body shivered in the wake of the unexpected scare. Every moment the cat remained stranded heightened the risk of a dangerous fall or worsening distress. Neighbors peered from their windows and stepped outside, drawn by the commotion and the unmistakable aura of concern radiating from Bruno. The atmosphere, once calm and untroubled, now pulsed with the urgent energy of a community uniting to help one of its own, even if that one was a creature known more for independence than need. Bruno's resolve solidified as he stared upward. His innate loyalty and courage surged through him, and he knew that something had to be done to save his friend. Despite the daunting height and the potentially treacherous path to reach Whiskers, the faithful dog prepared himself for what lay ahead. With every determined step he took toward the house, his eyes never left the stranded cat, silently promising to bridge the gap between the ground and that precarious rooftop. In that charged moment, the neighborhood's familiar rhythm was broken by an unexpected call to action. The sun's gentle descent painted the sky in hues of gold and lavender, a stark contrast to the urgent scene unfolding below. Bruno's courageous heart had recognized a cry for help, a cry that would soon propel him into an adventure that defied expectations and showcased the true meaning of loyalty and compassion. With the sun beginning its descent behind the horizon, Bruno's resolve turned into action. Determined to save his stranded friend, he approached the weathered cottage with unwavering focus. The roof, slick with the day's warmth and now dappled in shadows, loomed high above him, a seemingly insurmountable barrier between safety and peril for Whiskers. Bruno circled the building, pausing to inspect every possible entry point. His keen eyes noticed a low wall beside the house that provided a gradual incline leading upward. With careful steps, he climbed the wall, his paws gripping the rough surface as he ascended. Every muscle in his compact frame tensed with concentration. He was fully aware that a misstep could spell disaster for both him and Whiskers. Reaching the top of the wall, Bruno cautiously advanced along the narrow ledge that hugged the side of the cottage. The surface was uneven, a patchwork of loose tiles and weathered mortar that had withstood countless storms. With each careful stride, he inched closer to the roof where Whiskers trembled at the edge. The wind picked up, sending ripples of uncertainty through the air, yet Bruno pressed on, his protective instincts overriding any lingering fear. At a particularly precarious section of the roof, a loose tile threatened to give way beneath his weight. For a moment, time seemed to slow as Bruno paused, his eyes locked on Whiskers below. The cat, noticing Bruno's hesitation, let out a soft, anxious meow that resonated with both fear and hope. Reassured by the familiar sound, Bruno steadied himself. He shifted his weight carefully, testing the stability of the footing, and then resumed his cautious approach. Finally, Bruno reached a position directly beneath Whiskers, who sat on a narrow overhang with his fur slightly ruffled by the breeze. The gap between them was small, yet the height and the unstable surface made the final step a daunting challenge. With a deep, steadying breath, Bruno extended his paw upward, inching closer until his nose was nearly touching Whiskers' side. In that moment of suspended tension, their eyes met, a silent exchange filled with trust and urgency. Recognizing the familiar warmth of his friend's presence, Whiskers hesitated no longer. With a delicate, almost imperceptible shift, the cat allowed Bruno's paw to nudge him gently. The rescue was now a dance of precision, Bruno's careful guidance, the mutual understanding that one misstep could undo everything, and the ever-present risk of a sudden slip. Inch by inch, with Bruno leading the way, Whiskers began to move toward a more secure part of the roof where the tiles offered firmer footing. The entire process was a study in bravery and trust. The gentle dog reassured Whiskers with soft, encouraging barks, while his careful, methodical movements provided the assurance that the rescue was progressing. Every cautious step was a testament to Bruno's unwavering loyalty, a demonstration that even the most daunting obstacles could be overcome when friendship and determination converged. As they reached the safer edge of the roof, Bruno paused, ensuring that Whiskers was securely positioned before considering the final descent. The wind had quieted slightly, as if acknowledging the success of their collaboration. In that charged moment, Bruno's heart swelled with relief and pride. The rescue was not merely about navigating a treacherous rooftop, it was about the trust that had grown between two very different souls. Together, they prepared for the last stretch, descending from the roof to the ground below. With one final, careful maneuver, Bruno led Whiskers to a lower platform where the risk of falling was minimal. The faithful dog's tail gave a gentle wag, and a soft purr from Whiskers marked the triumph of their daring rescue. On that rooftop battleground, under the encroaching twilight, Bruno risked it all to bring his friend to safety. The daring rescue not only saved Whiskers from peril but also solidified a bond that would forever be remembered, a bond born from courage, trust, and the unyielding power of friendship. As twilight deepened into the gentle embrace of evening, the final stretch of the daring rescue unfolded with a tender urgency. With Whiskers now safely navigating toward a lower, more secure part of the roof, Bruno led the way for their descent. Every careful step was measured against the diminishing light and the soft murmur of a cooling day. The air was filled with a quiet anticipation, as if nature itself paused to witness this poignant moment. With the duo approaching the edge of the roof, the risk of a fall gradually lessened. Bruno's eyes sparkled with determination as he guided Whiskers to a sturdy balcony that jutted slightly from the side of the cottage. There, the transition from the precarious heights of the roof to the safe ground below was made possible by a worn set of steps, once used by the residents, now reclaimed by fate. The faithful dog, ever vigilant, positioned himself as a reassuring anchor for his friend. His warm, steady presence calmed Whiskers, who, with a hesitant yet trusting leap, began the careful descent. Step by deliberate step, the pair made their way down. The soft glow of the setting sun bathed the scene in golden hues, transforming the dilapidated exterior of the cottage into a gentle tapestry of light and shadow. Neighbors, who had been watching from afar, now emerged from their doorways and windows, their faces lit with concern and awe. Their murmurs and soft claps formed a quiet chorus, celebrating the successful rescue that unfolded before their eyes. At the bottom, on a freshly swept lawn bordered by flowering shrubs and tidy hedges, Whiskers finally touched the ground. In that delicate moment, as the faithful dog and the rescued cat paused to catch their breath, something beautiful transpired. Bruno circled around Whiskers, nuzzling him gently, a silent, heartfelt greeting that spoke of gratitude, relief, and newfound camaraderie. Whiskers, still trembling from the ordeal, instinctively rubbed his head against Bruno's warm muzzle, their bond cemented by shared courage and mutual trust. The setting sun lent a final, enchanting touch to the scene as its rays stretched long across the lawn, casting everything in a serene, amber glow. In that light, the scarred edges of the rooftop adventure softened into a memory of resilience and hope. Neighbors gathered, exchanging smiles and quiet words of admiration for Bruno's selfless act. Some even knelt to stroke the rescued cat, whose purrs resonated as a quiet thank you. As the evening settled in, the rescued cat and the loyal dog remained side by side, a living testament to the power of compassion. The once perilous heights and uncertain ledges of the roof were now replaced by the steady, supportive ground beneath them. In the hushed aftermath, their eyes met in a silent dialogue, a promise that from this day forward, their lives would be forever intertwined, and that no matter what challenges might arise, the strength of their friendship would always guide them to safety. In that final, tranquil moment under the setting sun, the neighborhood felt transformed, a small community reminded that true heroism and genuine bonds often form in the most unexpected of places. And so, as the day faded into night, Bruno and Whiskers began a new chapter together, one defined not by the risks they had taken, but by the enduring warmth of their connection and the hope that it inspired in everyone who witnessed their miraculous rescue. With the rescue behind them, the first light of a fresh morning heralded more than just a new day, it marked the beginning of a lasting legacy. As the neighborhood stirred awake, the events of the previous night had already become the talk of the town. News of Bruno's heroic rescue and the unbreakable bond that had formed between him and Whiskers spread quickly, inspiring warm smiles and heartfelt conversations among neighbors. In the early hours, as dew gathered on the manicured lawns and the soft light painted the world in gentle pastels, Bruno and Whiskers began their day together. Their unusual friendship had grown into a symbol of hope and unity, a reminder that courage and compassion could transcend even the most daunting challenges. The faithful dog, once known for his quiet routine, now trotted along the streets with a renewed sense of purpose. Whiskers, his silvery fur still carrying hints of the adventure's dust, moved with a graceful, cautious confidence, each step a tribute to the trust he had placed in Bruno. Neighbors greeted the pair warmly as they passed by. Some stopped for a moment, admiring the sight of a rescued cat nestled affectionately against a loyal canine. Children, inspired by the story they had heard the night before, waved enthusiastically and giggled with delight at the sight of the two friends exploring side by side. The local newspaper even featured a brief article recounting the dramatic rescue, painting a picture of bravery and the transformative power of friendship. Local pet owners began to see their own animals in a new light, reminded that every creature, no matter how different, could share a bond of unconditional love. As the day unfolded, the community rallied together to honor the miracle that had taken place. A small celebration was organized in the neighborhood park, where residents gathered beneath the old oak tree, a silent witness to many shared memories. A makeshift stage was set up, and someone arranged a photo slideshow of Bruno and Whiskers, showcasing snapshots of their daring rescue and their tender moments on the rooftop. The air buzzed with conversation, laughter, and a palpable sense of unity. During the celebration, a local animal shelter representative spoke about the importance of compassion and community involvement in protecting every animal, whether stray or cherished pet. Inspired by the tale of Bruno's bravery, several neighbors pledged support for local rescue initiatives and volunteer programs. The story of the faithful dog and the once stranded cat had become a catalyst for positive change, encouraging everyone to look out for one another, both human and animal alike. In the quiet moments after the festivities, as the sun dipped low once again and painted the sky in hues of gold and crimson, Bruno and Whiskers found themselves in a familiar corner of the park. There, beneath the softly swaying branches of the old oak, they rested side by side, a living testament to the enduring bond they had forged under extraordinary circumstances. In that peaceful silence, the neighborhood's heartbeat could be felt in every rustle of leaves and every gentle breeze. It was as if nature itself celebrated their union. For Bruno and Whiskers, the events of that fateful night had forever altered their destinies. Their journey had taught them that heroism often comes in unexpected forms, and that the true strength of friendship lies in the willingness to risk everything for someone else. As they sat together, basking in the quiet glow of a new dawn, they knew that their bond was not just a fleeting miracle, it was the beginning of a legacy that would inspire compassion and unity for years to come. Thus, with hearts full of gratitude and a future brimming with promise, the faithful dog and the rescued cat embarked on the next chapter of their lives. Their extraordinary friendship had not only changed them but had also rekindled the spirit of community, proving that sometimes, the most remarkable journeys begin with a simple act of kindness at a doorstep.